Hey riders, welcome to another video in our Adventure Motorcycle Training Series. I'm Eric Lange with Ride Adventures, and especially for you new riders, maybe you're heading out for your first summer of adventure riding, I want to talk through some simple mistakes you can avoid to avoid embarrassment, accidents, injuries, or worse. So let's get in character. Okay, so especially for you newbies out there, you might be showing up for bike night on a Tuesday at the local shop or something like that. We'll talk through these things that are just simple little mistakes you can easily avoid. The first one of them being when you're parking amongst other bikes and other riders, remember before you park that your bike is going to lean to the left, right? Once you put the kickstand down, lean it to the side, and the whole thing moves over closer to the bikes or the cars or whatever's right next to you. So just avoid that simple mistake of all of a sudden being on top of other people. Another easy little mistake, speaking of parking, that we often make is that if you are parking facing downhill, well, sometimes it's necessary because you have to park that way. Don't do the thing where you're trying to scooch back uphill backwards, where you're on your tippy toes and you're trying so hard. It'll go a lot easier if you just get off the bike and push it backwards. Also, moving on from the parking topic, now you're actually out riding. Don't make the mistake of thinking you absolutely must go through a sand section, which can be complicated, especially if you're new. Don't make the mistake of thinking you need to do it in third, fourth, or fifth gear at full speed, just like you see in the videos and like you see other riders doing. If you're brand new to sand and you haven't taken the training course yet, it's best to just maybe kick it down into first gear, get ready to use your feet, tap yourself through that sand section, and just know that you're going to get through it in the vertical position instead of making an embarrassing or painful mistake. And speaking of, if you have not had proper training on how to deal with sand and other types of situations, make sure you've checked out our website. We do have Adventure Rider training dates listed here in Bend, Oregon, and other locations we're adding as time rolls on. So there you are, you're out on the trail, and sometimes you have to turn around, right? Maybe the trail doesn't go through or whatever. Don't make the mistake of turning around by pointing your bike downhill. Always point the bike uphill. It's going to be so much easier to make that turnaround. Much like the parking situation, once you've pointed the bike downhill, well, now you have the challenge of getting it back up, and that's a difficult thing to either scooch with your feet or push with your arms. Why not point the bike uphill as you're turning around and let it roll back down, use the engine to move it forward, and make a simple turn that way, and just turn around using the slope in your favor instead of having it work against you. And in any of these moments, of course, there's the chance that you're gonna put the bike down. If you do, don't make the mistake of rushing over to pick it up or picking it up incorrectly. Pick it up with your back facing the bike. Save your lower back, save your muscles in your legs and everything like that. Don't make the mistake of rushing to do it yourself because you're trying to think that no one else is going to see it. If you do it fast enough, a lot of people get injured that way. Hey, we all drop a bike sooner or later. Don't worry if you do it. If there's another rider, ask them for help. Make sure that you're not straining or ruining your day by destroying your lower back or doing something that could have been avoided with a little more patience. We all drop a bike every once in a while. And so again, you're out there with other riders. Don't make the mistake of encroaching on the space of other riders. You know, from a safety perspective, it helps us incredibly to have space around us from other vehicles, from other cars, riders. And it's a kind of a thing that now that you're gonna be riding amongst others in groups possibly, don't make yourself sort of an outcast by, crowding in on people. It can be nerve-wracking. It can be flat out dangerous for the reasons of being so close to each other. Don't crowd up on people. Give yourself and everyone else some space, and don't become the outcast in the group by riding annoyingly like that. Lastly, avoid simple riding gear mistakes. One of those being thinking that your gloves fit or thinking that everything's going to work, and then you show up there for that first time amongst the riding group on a Saturday morning and you find out something doesn't fit as well as it did in the perfect comfort of air conditioning in front of the TV, or jackets or something like that aren't working. Prove and test this stuff before you show up for a big moment, expecting it all to fit and work together great. And so actually, if you want 8 more examples of riding gear mistakes that you want to avoid, check out the link. We've done a 9 riding gear mistakes video that you can refer to. Speaking of riding gear, if you want to see what gear I have come to depend on as a motorcycle tour guide over the years, there's another video we've made. We'll find a link around here somewhere for you, and you can buy all that gear through our web store. So thanks for watching, everyone. Ride on, and we will see you out there.